Hello everybody! Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Happy Friday! Welcome back! How are you? I made a new mog for my hunter, which felt a bit blasphemous because I talked up how much I loved that dingy green sweatshirt, and I do. But I wanted a second look for her that was still super basic, so I went and I found some other pants. I found, this is the shirt from the prime drop recolor of the Buccaneers slops. I gave her some little fingerless gloves, and then like an expeditionary bow. So I'm happy with that. She is invisible. She is not notable in any way. Love it. Haley, thank you very much for the 9-month resub. Hazel, thanks to you, got the courage to heal my first dungeon on SOD. Oh, nice. That's wonderful. Great, simple clan. I love that it gets out of its way. I've been feeling the really, really basic mogs. You should see what I wore to raid last night. I mean, I'll show you what I wore to raid last night on my priest. Baby Naga seems so determined. Good morning. Happy Friday. So I'll get myself my hour-long buff. We unfortunately are mourning the loss of the anniversary buff. Also, I finally got my Laradar Hearthstone. Isn't that neat? We're unfortunately mourning the loss of the anniversary buffs, but we're just going to not worry about what we don't have, and we're just going to worry about what kind of experience we can get. Anyways. Chris Lolly, thank you very much for the 7-month resub. But first, I have to show you what I wore to raid last night. Okay, so that's not it. That's a nice mog. I like this mog. I wear it a lot. I like this BFA cloth Zandalari looking set to the extent that I wear it on characters where it doesn't make any sense. And then I found her at some like stuff that went with it. But that's not the mog. I was wearing that for most of raid. We'll log in. It'll update, you know? Good morning. Oh, that's really good today. That's really good. It's like, what? I rotated the plush on my desk. I've decided that I had too many, so I'm choosing one big one to be in my desk on any given day. And then whenever I feel like I need a refresh, I rotate so that somebody else can sit and judge me with their stitched on eyes. Oh yeah. There it is. Now, for some reason, in some areas, my offhand won't unsheath. And I don't quite know why. I have the watering can offhand. But this was what I wore at the end of our raid last night. For the last boss that we killed. Names. I had names turned on because we were taking a screenshot. Character screen doesn't always load the mod correctly. Yeah, it takes quite a while for it to update. Is it because I have a profession gear buff? I am dressed in cooking equipment. That is what it is. You're so smart. That's exactly what it was. There we go. There's the look. I got a watering can, which is only slightly horribly clipped into everything. I got my digging shovel. She's a gardener. She's gardening. She's got her flannel shirt. She's got her knee pads. She's got a pocket on her leg. She's got cargo pants on. I don't know what the boots are. I feel like I just put on any boots whenever I'm doing a mog like this. Anything that's not like too crazy. Prevents weapons from unsheathing properly. I need to remember that, and I don't think I will remember that, but it's a good thing to remember. Garden mid-raid, you know it. You want to see? We did, I think Flabby wanted me to show you guys the meters just so that he could feel like he was witnessed for his... I mean, he is witnessed for his actions. We all appreciate him, but... Holy moly, that guy was trucking on progression. Where did I get the pants? She is wearing dilapidated cloth pants. Dilapidated cloth pants. I could wowhead those. Where are they from? I never know where anything's from. I just kind of look through my journal and put things on. Dilapidated. Dilapidated is a hard word to spell. Dilapidated. No, I have spelled that wrong somehow. Dilapidated. Dilapidated cloth. It's a gray item. Apparently. Biggest pumper. Yeah, totally a transmog gray. Anyway, that was the details. And let's see, mounts. The proto drink. So there's two things of note here. One of them is that the red scales dropped. Actually, on our normal Fyrakk kill, the red scales dropped. Flabby won them, and then Flabby bestowed them upon me because he's my bestie, and and the one person in the world that I accept gifts from. So that's pretty sick. But that's not all. Where's the thingy? Where's the thingy? We also have the option of the Shadow Flame one, because guess who killed Heroic Fyrakk last night? Us. We did. We did that. Wow, it's really not that. Yeah, no, it is a different color. It is a different color. Have you done the 4 weekly mythics for Heroic piece? Yeah, I got a piece that I disenchanted immediately. On my main, anyways. I'm not worried about other characters. Congrats, wife. Thank you. We killed him after somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 pulls, wipes-ish, somewhere in that 15-16 range, which I was quite pleased with. I thought that was pretty good. Oh, I was and it was the last pull of the night. We were out of time, because we also killed Tindral. It was our T-Swift progression kill last night as well, so we were completely out of time on the last pull of the night, and that's when we finally downed Fyrakk. I'm not smart enough for that last phase. I am not on seed duty. I did not volunteer, and I did not do it. And that is good, because I don't know how those people were coping. I was just trying my very best not to fry any of their seeds with my lines. Last pull magic is real. Holy moly. Of that, oh no, I'm on a different character. I was going to check and see how much my healing was from my trinket. I was going to check and see how much my my thing did. We've nicknamed my smoldering seedling. The little guy that pops up is now called Jan, because our tank Jans wanted it named after him, and I decided because it's small it should be singular Jan. Let's grab any talent point that I might actually use while I'm like questing and stuff. Did I get all my kill command upgrades? Yeah, something like that. Sure, why not? And then I'll fix my spec later. We'll fly back to the Unaran Plains, because that's still the Dream Surge zone, so there's still 25% Dream Surge XP out there, and we have an hour of Darkmoon Fair buff, so it's not nothing. But I don't know if I would call it good. Yeah, fly me back out there. Where did you get this skin? Which one? I think I have Sunrise Scales on the Whimsy Drake that I was just riding, which is from the World Boss. If you mean the Proto Drake, that's from Fyrakk. How do you target the trinket when you pop it? I have a macro. I have one button that pops the trinket, and then I have another macro that I keep on the button adjacent to that targets the darn thing so that I can slime heals on it, because yeah, otherwise it's just a mess. There was no way I was going to do that without a targeting macro. I also use the targeting macro to target the charred brambles on Laredar, because otherwise there is not a chance I'm going to find them fast enough in order to get any meaningful heals on them. And then for the ads on Fyrakk, I just cry. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Glad to see you went with the IRL Hunter. Isn't it cute? I'm so tickled pink about this. I'm so pleased. I'm so happy. I want to... Oh, I was considering getting another pet. So I have the Moose and Kira, and because I only have Moose and Kira, they're always the duo. But I was thinking, I want to try taming a third pet, so I have a tenacity option, and see if just because it was tamed third, if it doesn't upset my you know, like my pairing, because we went through this yesterday. I was having difficulty having both of those out, but still being able to hot swap either to the primary without putting anybody in the stable, and without having any dupes. And this is the solution that I landed on, but I kind of want a tenacity pet just for when I need the health. And I want to get a stag. Let me show you what I was looking at. I want to get a stag. So on Wowpatopia, stags are tenacity pets. There's all kinds of models of them. And I could take like a dream stag. I really like that one. The dark brown dream stag. Or I could get myself a Bruffalon like this. These guys are in the Unaran Plains. And, you know, like I have the Bakar named Moose. I could have this and I could name him Dog. Or something more funny than that. I don't have a moose or a deer in real life, but I've kind of run out of pets. If there are fish pets, then they're not. Did they make the Nadra tameable? Are they spirit beasts or something? Actually, I didn't look at that. I was going to say if there's a fish pet, then I have fish. And I thought maybe the Nadra were tameable. Let me take a look at this. Somnowl, Spirit Tigers, Armor Eden, Stormwolves. No. There's a Spirit Beast Moose. Yeah, that's true. You could use a fish bubble companion pet. I could. I would need to use the red one because my fishies are little red fishies. Okie dokie. Am I happy with my choices? Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and keep questing. let's just crank through as much of this as we can. Kitty cat, you want to come to say hi? You pet worms, you could take a worm pet. I have utility worms. I hesitate to call them pet worms. They are composting worms that live in a bin in my home. Didn't know about the Drust stags. Yeah, apparently, like, they look like the Kultir in travel form, and apparently they added those in Dragonflight, was what I was seeing. So that's cool. Those look cool too. I just like deer. I'm tempted to just roll even farther back and just take like a regular basic deer. I'm just a sucker for a good wild ungulate. What's up, party people? You do have moose. That's good enough. Moosey's trying to enlist my help in ripping off the wing of his duck toy. He thinks he's so sneaky, but I see him taking this toy out of the bin, and he picks it up by the bill, and then he carefully shifts it so he can offer me the bill so that he can hold on to the wing that he wants to rip off. And then he brings it up to me all cute, like, Mom, you want to play tug? Listen, buddy. Have you ever noticed that after you disembowel your toys, they go missing? But no, so we play tug and we play fetch. His rubber squeaky toys hold up quite well, but he gets like a primal satisfaction from ripping and tearing and destroying things. It must remind him of being a wolf in the wild, just disemboweling like a carcass. And short of giving him a carcass to rip apart, maybe one of those toys that has the little balls that you can pull in and out of the existing holes, that might work. That might satisfy some of his rip, tear, destroy instinct. Harder making a simple civilian transmog than some of the more flashy stuff. There's certainly not as many options. Most of the Mog in WoW has some amount of flash to it. But especially since they let you Mog gray armor, there is more simple stuff, especially if you're not worried about looking a little bit shabby. I want more shirts. I'm appalled. That's a strong word. I'm entitled. I want more shirts. There's only like a couple pages of them compared to like my 30 or 40 pages or whatever of like other types of Mog. And shirts, you can wear them on any class. And like, because you can hide your chest piece and just Mog your shirt, like, I don't know, there's endless possibilities for them. And I think they're a great opportunity to put in more Mogs that look kind of normal. Like the workman shirts are great and the lumberjack shirts are great. And I want more. I want more of all of it. There is a free t-shirt day, and one of those shirts is the one that I used to have transmog. That sweatshirt was a Shirtsies shirt. Because I think originally it was like I'm talking out of my butt. I had some feeling that it was originally a cloth mog, and then they made it into a shirt for free t-shirt day. But I could have made that up entirely, who's to say. Good slogan for merch. I want more shirts. And a nice sweatshirt with a design that's maybe in a bit of a bigger pattern so that it doesn't peel as easily. maybe the stick figures weren't the best thing. As cute as they were. Alright, we're turning this in over here. Trouble with free t-shirt day is that they just... I mean, I guess they could add more shirts to it, but once you've done it, you've kind of done it. You've got your shirts. Is fire season like... Oh, it's like a Fyrakk quest. Isn't that like an Emerald Dream quest? Surely they're not going to let me go there until I'm finished leveling. 1426 cloaks in the game. I could give up some for some cool transmog. Yeah, I imagine there's a lot of cloaks. I don't know. Do you think there's any cloaks in the game that have never been mogged? That can't be true, right? Like, there's just too many WoW players. But I feel like a substantial amount of people that are mogging cloaks, or that are mogging, are like me and they don't mog cloaks. Or they would mog, like, specific cloaks that have really cool effects. Like, I will mog the new back pieces that don't look like cloaks, but go in the cloak spots sometimes, like the backpacks and the wings and stuff. But just, like, you know, generic tattered piece of back fabric that doesn't even cover your shoulders, numbered 297. I don't know how much those get used. Which is not a problem, but... Red hood / cloak on my vampire mage. Ooh, that's cool. Some of them are ugly. You ever make a mog that's like really ugly on purpose? Because that can be a fun game sometimes. People want more quivers. Yeah. It's a bit jarring playing classic and then being like, wait, I have a quiver in this eons old game. Where did it go? Why did they take this away from me? It was just there by default. Am I windy? I am windy. Let's at least be on the dragon. And then wagons destroyed. Wagons destroyed. Oh, with the totems, I see. There's a rare up here that I think scales, so I should be able to fight her. Yeah, she's 66, so I can kill that one. Take off all your transmog, see what you look like in your random gear for an ugly one. I wonder what my priest looks like. It's probably, especially when you're wearing like modern season stuff, it's like a weird mix of like BFA dungeon mog from Atal Dazar, you know, like your class tier set that's incredibly ornate and gorgeous, but then like another class's tier piece that's like in the middle of it that doesn't go at all, and then like, you know, it's probably pretty wild. Alright, I want 2 of these. Oh, the only reason I didn't whiff that kick is because it was on cooldown. I'm excited to have a chance to play DPS again at Endgame and to, like, you know, spend a little bit more time on the Hunter. Because I did poke at BM Hunter last season a little bit on that Draenei Hunter that I was playing, which is why I have, like, a weak aura set up. So I'm not starting from the beginning. I'm starting from step 2. Which is pretty close to the beginning, but, you know. The point is, we've got a foundation. Oh, okay. Use all those nice back pieces so they didn't make my weapons disappear. Yeah, that is a really good point. I find that I like a lot of them like in isolation, but when I'm actually running around with them, I don't necessarily like that they obscure the silhouette of my character from the back. Like it'll just be, especially like a lot of the Shadowlands ones. And mind you, this isn't a design criticism. This is just me being picky. Those Shadowlands ones, like the Torghast ones, or even like the Tombstones, they're really cool from the right angle and like zoomed in correctly. But when you're playing from this far, it's just kind of like there's a plate behind your character. And you just, I don't know, it feels less fluid. You can't see your animations as much. Did Mage Tower on the Hunter? That has to count, right? Did Mage Tower. I did Mage Tower on a different Hunter in a different spec. I think I did two Mage Towers in Hunter. I think I did BM on one Hunter, and I think I used another one for survival. That can't have been true. But I know I did the Archmage Xylem thing on a survival Hunter. That was back when I had a Volpera, I think. Oh, Kira. Where's my pet? Dear me. Well, I guess aside from keeping up my Darkmoon Fair buff, I don't really have any super crazy time sensitivity today. It's not like I'm racing against the end of the anniversary anymore. We've lost that race. So I could go looking for a nice Bruffalon pet to tame. That might be kind of cool. Do I want to fight that? I don't think so. I don't think so. We want one more Primalist, a couple more wagons. My kick is on a much longer cooldown than I always think it is. I just assume that I play a class that has a kick, so surely it must be up at all times whenever I require it. And I'm starting to think that's not how it works for ranged. No. BRB. Mage Tower was a thing. Yeah, I did BM in survival. Get horrible flashbacks when I do Black Red Cooldown. I had the same kind of chills when I first stepped back in there. It almost made me feel better that I was just doing the dungeon and that I wasn't doing the healer challenge. Those stairs, man. The stairs up to the last room. I don't know why. Like, that wasn't even a hard part of it. But for some reason, that was the thing that gave me the heebie-jeebies. Knife Dance, start panicking. You do get used to tank kicks. I found out that in Mythic Plus, my friends play this game that's called Can We Kick Before Flabby? And the answer is no. Like every now and then, I never really thought much about it because I was just healing. Every now and then somebody would be like, ugh. And I was just like, I just assumed they'd like, you know, mispressed a cooldown or something like DPS do sometimes. And then I started tanking and I started like noticing the timing of it. Am I okay? I'm gonna live. And it's because they're all trying to kick like a fear cast on like the Screamer bird in AD or something like that. And I guess I'm assuming that this is only when there are no other kicks to hold your kick for, because otherwise they will set up like a rotation. But when they're all competing for one kick, you try and slam it in before Flappy and see if you can do it. I swear he precast that. I don't know how he knows it's gonna happen. Healer Challenge taught me that Knife Dance was a must-interrupt thing ASAP. Why don't I remember Knife Dance from the Healer Challenge? I remember Knife Dance from the dungeon. Oh, in the first phase? Yeah. Oh, I hope they don't ever make me do that again. Don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed it both times, but like, I hope that if they ever decide to bring it back, they make some new fights so that I can just like form new trauma in new rooms. You know, I've got enough bad feelings tacked into those rooms. All my DPS try to beat each other to interrupt spells. Such a first world problem compared to bugs. I was trying to stay motivated to keep dispelling by trying to compete on dispel meters on Fyrakk and also on Tindril actually too, because you want to get your dispels quickly for that too. Because if I don't, it's such a silly little problem. Like, it's not that hard to dispel on cooldown, except that I don't want to. And I get tired and then I forget about it. Like, oh, it's every 8 seconds forever. I don't want to dispel anymore. But you must. Goal to do all challenges someday. Alright, that's gonna hurt for a little bit. I can't be bothered to go to any water, so I'm just gonna kinda... Oh, I'm supposed to be protecting Boku from enemies. Oops. Sorry, Boku. I've left to go mine some lava. Oh, there's a treasure chest over there. Can I have it? It says it's lightning bound. I have a feeling that's a trap. Oh no, I can just have it. That's nice. Ended up getting the Frost Mage Tower appearance 2 days before the BFA pre-patch released. Hated those twins more than any character in the WoW. Yeah. In my humble opinion, Twins was the worst one. Twins was the worst one. You maybe could have made another argument depending on which class you attempted these various things on, but Twins was awful. Oh dear. What was the easiest one? I feel like none of them were easy, so to speak. The ones that went best for me was the Valkyr crossing room one, and that was only because I had Flabby watching a stream and on call with me to like real time coach me through it and be like, okay, this thing's gonna happen in 5 seconds, get ready for this, start watching for this. So I got coached right through that one. And then I would say that the Fire Mage one, was it Fire Mage or Warlock? The one with the Imp Mother. Imp Mother wasn't too bad. It wasn't, like, I was still shaking when I finished it, but relative to some of the other ones. Agatha and Sigrun, yeah. Yeah, I think for me. Heard Shadow and Frost were the hardest Mage Tower challenges out of all 36. Angle so hard to judge for me. It's so fast and unforgiving. It was one of those things that's, like, pretty easy to do, except that, like, because, I don't know. I had that same problem with getting knocked off in the bear challenge. I knew exactly what was knocking me off, and I knew exactly how to avoid it, and it was not a hard thing to do, so every time I did get knocked off anyways, I would get even more tilted. Like, I'm better than this! But then I would do it another, like, 15 times in a row. Oh, dear. Okay. Let's go this way. What if I run out of Onar and Plains quests? I guess I can then do all the world quests. But I've been focusing my leveling in this zone because of the Dreaming Winds buff, but I might actually, there's a chance that I finish everything. I have both of the Nakudan Hold quests. Oh, look, Dream Surge Coalescence. Wow, for me. Achievement progress. Oh, there's one more storyline left. I should do this achievement of the Emerald Dream. Also, Blue Loot. I haven't done that either. Report heard. Okay. I do have the book map. Still remember my bear challenge took me 410 attempts. Worth it, though. I don't think I got any of them done in less than like... Oh, no, I changed my mind. The easiest one for me was BM Hunter. BM Hunter, because all you had to do for me was get your weak cores or your DBM, get your DBM, change your DBM sound so there's a different sound for each mechanic, and then it was Simon Says. It was very much just you press this button when this thing happens, this button when this thing happens, this button when this thing happens. It was very much Simon Says, and aside from that, it was really easy. And like... I just changed my sound so it's like, okay, I press my stun whenever there's the clown horn. Like, you get targeting macros too, so you're not like hunting around for the things. It's like, okay, I hear the clown horn, I press this target macro, I press this button, done. You could pretty easily use macros and sound alerts to trivialize that one. It did make it like free, but that was easier than Sigrun or Agatha for me, actually. Tyvan ridden optional. Huh. Ride Tyvan. I have a dragon. Don't think you used that book man enough for how hard it was to get, but I wasn't here when you got it. I mean, it doesn't dragon ride. Is it gonna dragon ride? I need it to dragon ride. I will ride that thing all over the place if it can learn how to lift off properly. Yeah, Xylem wasn't awful either. I feel like that one was kind of like a middle of the road challenge though. The ones that I would put on the harder end for me were the Shadow Priest one, obviously, that was the worst. And then... But I kind of, don't get me wrong, I like complaining about it. I'm getting a perverse kind of satisfaction from being like, oh, that was awful. And I'm like, I did it. It's a humble bragging. The Shadow Priest one, and then the healer challenge. On any healer, mind you. Some healers had an easier time of it than others. Even though I was a Holy Priest main, I ended up doing that on Resto Druid because Resto Druid just seemed to have better utility tools for dealing with the various mechanics of it. So I used an Ardruid to get through the healer challenge. But that was all. I think that was a very tough one for me too. It was just long. I really struggle whenever anything in the game requires me to sustain my focus for that long because I just kind of run out. Don't wanna be there anymore. Second worst because it's really 3 challenges long. Yeah, and the hardest one is the first one for me. In my opinion, the hardest one was the first part of it. So once you can like do the first part, the rest of it's not so bad, but you have to do the first part perfectly to get through it to even get a chance to progress on the rest of it. So then if you die to like a silly mistake or just like not having enough experience in one of the later 2 phases, you feel awful because you're like, oh, I have to do that first part again. I ran out of thoughts. Did I tell all my stories? I told about Fyrakk. Oh, I guess it's only been since yesterday. It's not like I have a variety of stories to tell. What about Fyrakk? He's dead. We killed him on Heroic. I got my AOTC. I wonder how much we're going to re-clear it, because on one hand, sometimes Carbon, once we've cleared a raid and gotten AOTC, we have a lot of trouble sustaining the momentum to keep raiding, especially if there's other games that people want to play. But on the other hand, we have a variety of two-handed strength users. We have 2 Death Knights, a Warrior, a Ret Paladin, there's like a DK tank. Like, there's a pretty good variety of people that are probably going to have an interest in getting a Fear Lab. So maybe we won't stop as early as we... I mean, we raided Aberrus for a while, too. We didn't give up on that for a while. I was recording. I do have the video. I haven't looked at it. I suppose I could play it. I'm going to be a bit mortified when I watch it back. When I was raiding, I was thinking, you should watch this back sometime. If we don't kill this tonight, you should watch this footage to figure out what you're misdoing, because I could tell as I was playing that I wasn't using all of my buttons very effectively. And that they're like, because sometimes I was just panicking and just like blanketing renew because I couldn't think of anything else to do. Because the mana management is tough in that fight. It's a long fight. You need to have mana left for the last phase. but there are so many ways that you can just blow all of your mana early, so it's really tough to, like, keep your uptime and be efficient and be helping, but also don't blow your money, you know. don't spend it all in one place. For Fyrakk, Heroic Fyrakk. Also normal Fyrakk is like that too, but once you have enough DPS, that one can be kind of smooshed. Yeah, if I do play that, I'm gonna put a blanket, not a rule, but a statement that I'm not looking for any VOD review advice. We killed it. It's over. I don't want to hear a word about what I could have done differently. Just not in the mood. I'm almost never in that mood. It's something that if I ever get really, really stuck, I have people I can ask to, like, sit down with me that can do it in a more focused way. Oh, there's a Brephilon. Listen to the discussion. We're eavesdropping. Guild hasn't gotten normal Fyrakk done yet. Hopefully tonight. Stressed because I'm DPS, having to change talent stop with heals. It's not what I'm used to. Alright. Well, I kind of want... Here, we'll let these guys talk. I can probably... Oh, I still don't have the skill to learn those profession knowledge items. I need to get my skill up to 25 first. I can probably just vendor some of this stuff, make some gold back. I need to buy some more frozen focus to use on my priest. I used almost all of them progressing on Fyrakk. Okay, get rid of these. Oh, I need to wear those. My gloves are horrible. That's a 100 item level upgrade. Pelts. Nobody wants these. No good. I can't sell that tin. I'm just going to vendor it. Hasn't been going very well. I'm all excited about our 13k gold until I realize that it's going to vanish immediately once I start trying to, like, get any gear crafted or anything enchanted at Endgame. Especially because it's not like her herbalism and mining is gathering anything particularly valuable at this level. Do you like Heroic Fyrakk? Yeah, it's a good end fight. I appreciate that it's not like 15 minutes long. Fly with Gareth. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, they're sending me out to the Green Dragon place. Yeah, I appreciate that it's not 15 minutes long. I appreciate that the only new mechanic is the blaze lines, but that they interact with different parts of the fight, so that it really does require a lot of extra awareness and attention throughout the fight, but without making you learn like an entirely new hokey pokey. Sitting waiting for LFR Fyrakk to release. Nice guild over a quick progging guild. Yeah, the most important thing in a guild for me is being comfortable in the social environment. There's really no amount of raid progress that's worth spending time with you know, people that are like abusive or bigoted or what have you. First phase of Sylvanas SOD took 10 minutes. It was terrible. It was so boring. I was not a happy camper in that fight. I just don't have the patience for it. Tried Mythic Council last night. What a nightmare. Wonder if next raid tier they might borrow some stuff to help innovate. I think they're inspired by other games often. I feel like they've done a good job of designing fights that don't feel super stale. For a while, like, WoW raids have always been pretty good. There will be a fight here and there that people don't like, but for the most part, the raids have been a strong point through the game, even when the game wasn't doing very well. But there was definitely like an era in WoW where it was like, here's your soak, here's your get out of this, stand in this, and you're done. They had like their menu of like 6 different things you could do. And that was kind of like, there would be maybe one thing that was a little different about each fight. And I feel like they've done a better job in Dragonflight about not only creating fights that have different and interesting intrigues to them, but making those things thematically fit the vibe of the boss. You know, like climbing the stairway in Senarth was extra cool because it was like the ice spider and you're like slipping around in the ice and you're getting caught in the webs. Like all the mechanics feel much more thematically tied as opposed to here's a random ad to kill. Like it all seems to make a little bit, it's more cohesive, and I like that a lot. All right, I'm gonna log out to keep my half hour of Wii buff, and then we'll take a look at this Fyrakk kill. But it's true that I have not done Emerald Soul as a DPS. My entire experience with it is as a healer, and then a tiny bit as a tank. I love this mod. Okie dokie. Let me pull up my video. You wanna watch? I mean, it's not a video I've made. It's just a recording from our thing, and I'll mute it because it's a private guild. Where are my files? They're here. Heroic Fyrakk kill. It is. Yeah, it is 9 minutes and 54 seconds long. It's not nothing. Let me see. How can I make this full screen? And then yeah, there we go. I'll leave the loading screen music on because this is muted anyway. I don't know if I had meters on while I was fighting it. I might have done. I might not have done. A big part of my job as a holy priest in the first phase is just press a lot of Prayer of Mending on cooldown and press a lot of dispels when they come out. You want to dispel basically as fast as you can to try to stay on top of those. Mass Dispel can help you catch up. No, take the things over to the edge. I spend a pretty astonishing amount of time just blanketing renews to try to fish for procs when I already have procs, but again, it's because I was panicking and I couldn't think of any better buttons to press, and you know, the one thing about the renew blanketing is that it's somewhat mana efficient, because renew is really cheap in itself, and those procs that it gives you are good for your mana efficiency as well. So, you know, your circle of healing, your prayer of healing. After this transition, there's a bunch of, or like this swap, there's a bunch of raid damage. This is usually where I was popping my trinket. So there's my Trine, I pop it, I throw a Guardian Spirit on it, I slam just big heals into it to try to catch people up, and then you're back to dispels, and there's the first set of Blaze lines. I get toasted a lot by Blaze. I realized pretty early that it wasn't going to one-shot me unless I stood in like 5 of them, and that I would rather not worry about it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to like sometimes a Blaze line would appear on top of me and I didn't know if it was on me and I didn't want to wiggle. And I didn't have enough brain cells left to figure out if it was on me or not, so I would just stay put. So there might be some of that in here. Maybe that's why I'm going aim, is because I'm healing myself through a bunch of unnecessary Blaze. So yeah, your Dispel's almost off cooldown. So that one actually is on me. Watch me toast melee. And then trying to nail some Sanctifies onto the range, which is a little bit tough sometimes. Alright, now would be a good time for like a circle of healing, maybe another Sanctify. Yeah, there you go. There you go. She's trying. She's doing her best. See, look, I moved one off of melee. Imagine that. You can move within your line, like up and down the line of it without wiggling your line. And that's a good thing to do to make sure that you're not eating more than one of them when you do have it on you. But I would just like freeze like a deer in the headlights. So he comes down, and then we do the semicircle to soak the Orbeez. Quick little symbol of hope, realize I'm underneath the thing, and then cancel it a little early, don't mind me. And I think I PI Flabby for the second time, because I do it once on pull. And then try and divide my time between healing. I noticed that one of my druids was tranking early in the phase. We don't assign healing cooldowns, but I noticed that one of my druids was tranking early, so I decided I would him late every time we did this, because this is kind of like a good spot for healing cooldowns, but I really wanted to save Salva for phase 3 if at all possible, because we were just losing people in phase 3. So that was the intermission. It's time for phase 2. And there's going to be ads, there's going to be healing ads. I can show you my beautiful, brilliant plan that I couldn't think of anything better. This is where I was using my frozen focus, was at the beginning of this phase. I wasn't the only one. Sometimes I would get toasted by Blaze while I was drinking, but that's okay. As long as you're not toasting the ads. So, a little ouchie, and then you've got some ads. I would hit them with Holy Novas, Sanctifies, and then occasionally I would pick one out to like slam a Serenity on or something like that. But for the most part, the only great strat I had for healing those healing ads was to run up close enough to them that I could actually like target specific ones better. So I have friendly nameplates. I'm mostly doing Sanctify. I kind of wish I could spread out my Sanctify more so they could like finish their Echo of Light and their Renew first, but it was good enough and it did the job anyway. And then trying to also slam the occasional Prayer of Mending out of the rest of the group. Our Holy Paladin was babysitting the raid, which was good because I was not paying them any attention. There was an Apotheosis proc. More healer ads. On Heroic, it does seem like it's more important to heal almost all of the healer ads. Like, you can lose a couple of them here and there, but it's not like normal where you can just kind of ignore them after a certain point. You do, like, the heart takes enough damage that you kind of do have to do it, which is brutal. I have lots of mana because of that frozen focus earlier, and because we're keeping Symbol of Hope on cooldown. I didn't used to use Symbol of Hope, and I don't know why. I just didn't think about it. But I started using it for this raid because I needed it. So we've got PI back. We just throw it, slam one out right there. We'll have it back again for phase 3. And, you know, healy ads. But this is the worst one. There's like one extra and it's like behind 2 that have shields. I just give up. I just leave. I just go back. It's like, listen, somebody needs dispels. Yes, there's more ads spawning on this way. Sometimes you just gotta cut your losses and get out of there. Single target healing them is probably well, I don't know if it's better. Anyway, I pop this treant there to try to like pick up the rest of it was a bad treant. You want to do it when the group's down too. Ideally with two serenities and your guardian spirit up. That'll do. Time for them to group the ads, which they do. They get them out of the way of the healing. We have 3 Death Knights in the group, which helps a lot with that. And then Flabby also took like this BFA engineering belt enchant plus Thunderstorm. Like he changed up his whole spec so he could basically move a group of ads by himself. And that helped substantially. So we weren't having too much trouble getting through this phase. It took us like a couple pulls to start, but for the most part, it was phase 3 that was really difficult. Like this, once you kind of get the hang of it, it's hard to heal through. Like it's a lot of damage plus the ads that you want to stay on top of, plus you're trying to like manage your mana. I have 60%, which is pretty ahead, honestly. I probably could have spent more at this point. We just Symbol of Hope again, though. You want to stock up. But I think he's gonna phase soon. More dispels, more blazes. That was where we lusted because we decided that was when we had the most people available and not busy. Even though you lose a little bit of the lust when he's moving like this. We tried lusting in phase 3 for a while, but we found that for like just an average progressing guild, most people are trying their best not to fry the seeds and not to die, and it means that you're not doing like your best DPS unless you're just a wizard like Flabby. So we were losing a lot of benefit from lust when we were popping it in phase 3. So we decided to get more mileage out of it by doing it early. And everybody's dead. Where am I going? What am I doing? Why am I not healing that warrior? He's poor guy's frying alive. I'm just like looking for seeds, trying not to cook them with my blaze lines and then be in place for Apocalypse Roar anyway. I have another PI up. When am I going to notice? There it is. PI Flabby. Can't go wrong. And then you're trying to keep the seed holders up. Our monk is behind the boss, babysitting a seed intermittently, and I was having a really hard time getting over to him to heal him, but I think one of the other healers eventually started taking that job because I couldn't do it. I was too far away. Couldn't handle it. And then I run the tornado all the way to the edge. That one was okay. I could have gotten a little farther, but on the pull before this, I ran a tornado right to the rim, and our raid leader was like, wow, really good job on those tornadoes. And I was like, heh, and then I ran right into it and almost like nuked myself, like 1 health kind of situation, immediately after having received a compliment. So this is when we learned that praise is the enemy of success. There's a spot for Divine Hymn. I noticed at this point that I still have my Salva, and that the boss is getting lower, and things are kind of almost sort of going okay. I'm just trying to not cook a seed with my blaze lines. Heal people as best as I can. Spend my mana. If I finish this fight and I still have mana left, I'm going to be kind of ashamed of myself. I also, you know what? You get your mana pot back up. I don't think I knew that at the time. I don't think I knew that I would have my mana pot back. So there's slamming out all the Sanctifies for the Apocalypse Roar. Everybody groups up, which is a nice place to tag everybody with those. And I think at a certain point, so there's a Symbol of Hope. I think I Sanctify after this, because I think I realized that I just need to use it before the fight's over. Salva, pardon me. I use the Salva right there. Because I would just want to top everybody up so that we don't lose anybody at this stage. And I realized that if I don't use it, the fight's going to end, and then you can't use it. Mana's down to 21. And you just start sending everything else that you have left. I don't even think that's on me. I think oh no, that is on me. I think I'm just standing in that. We only have like 1 seed left to babysit, 1 or 2 seeds left to babysit, so it's not such a big deal. And 1 last PI for the road. Everybody up too. Wow. Go Carbon. The Naru is a talent that Holy Priests have. When you use a holy word, you get like this image that casts some spells for you along with it. Yeah, so the line targets onto a player, and you can, if it's on you, you can move, and that will move the line. So you basically just want to avoid putting it on top of the ads, the healer ads in phase 2 or the seeds in phase 3. We don't worry too much about putting it on top of other people because they can move. It's better to have the people move out of it than to have the line people like wiggling all over the place and catching people. LFR and Joy, all I can say is awesome and congrats. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I thought I was going to be shocked and appalled, but I did okay. I'm not horrified at that. I could have spent a little more mana. But it's hard when you're panicking and just trying not to mess any mechanics up, because in that very last phase, if you toast a seed, that's a wipe. Like if you drop a tornado and that toasts a seed, that's a wipe too. Like you cannot mess that up. So I think that that's a good excuse to, at least during progression while you're practicing, to not be doing your best. All right, I've got leveling to do. Oh, sorry, kitty cat. Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetie. I didn't know you were under there. Hi. Oh, this keeps happening. I've been running my little heater pad under my desk for my feet, but she's discovered it, so she's been hanging out under there, and I keep forgetting she's under there, and then I bump her with my feet. Hi, sweetie. I'm so sorry. She's mostly just miffed. The heat's still on, so I don't think she's gonna move. Okay. Always have player health bars on. You need them to see your raid so that you can tell where to place your Holy Word Sanctifies. Some healing classes can probably get away without them and can heal purely based on raid frames, but if you have any area targeted AoE heals that you're laying down, so like a Prevoker trying to aim their Dream Breath or a Holy Priest trying to aim their Sanctify, I don't know what anybody else does. It's really useful to be able to see the health bars to not only see where lots of people are stacked, but where the damaged people are stacked. Because it doesn't matter if there's 10 people in melee if they're all at full health. So you want to be able to see where to aim those based on where all the damaged people are. It's also nice for the healing ads. I was turning it off for a little bit in phase 3 on one of my earlier pulls because I wanted more screen real estate to look for the seeds in so I could avoid toasting them, but I had to turn it back on because I needed to be able to see where to put my Sanctifies. I did play with Lightwell. I played in Wrath a little bit. I played in Kata some. I've played with Auto Lightwell. I've played with not Auto Lightwell. I found that not Auto Lightwell was not worth the grief of trying to yell at people to click on the darn thing. Auto Lightwell was great. I missed that. I thought that was really pretty. I hope they bring it back one day. Oh, I have to talk to all kinds of people. Yeah, I agree. The screen's super messy. I don't love it. And I also don't love that you can't use any add-ons to modify those friendly player frames when you're in an instance like that. Like I use Plater, but Plater and any other add-on can't touch those frames. They've restricted those. So you have to use their default frames, and their frames suck. They're not very good for visibility or clarity. I would prefer something else. Dragon riding skill unlocked. Macro for turning on and off during Fyrakk, it's annoying. Yeah, I had mine's on, I mean, I think default, yeah, Control V. And I was toggling it a bit as well, but I ended up just keeping it. But I also wasn't doing a seed. I was not doing a seed. It is good that I was not doing a seed. We don't want me to do a seed. Not unless I get much better at all of this. Default plates, but on large plate mode. The ad nameplates you're talking about. The healer ads, I wanted nameplates above the heads of the healer ads and also above the heads of all of my friends. I don't have an add-on for it. I have not found any tech that makes healing those healer ads on Fyrakk any easier. My entire plan is to have regular friendly nameplates on, run up really close to them so it's easier to target individual mobs, and then mostly just spit on them with AoE heals, because getting individual targets is gross on that fight. I was asking the other healers my raid, and they didn't have any better plans either. That's pretty much what everybody was doing. Okay. Yeah. Stacking nameplates during that fight's rough. I'm so happy we killed it. I'm so happy we killed it at the end of the night. I did not... Reclear, even when it's tough, is always going to feel easier than progression. And we're going to have a whole nother week of gear to help us, and another week of Worm's Crest, which is my main thing that's holding my gear back. Unfriendly nameplates is also a thing. It's just enemy nameplates. You've got friendly nameplates and enemy nameplates. You can toggle them individually. We get Helm enchant next week. Yeah, that's true, actually. That's going to be a big power upgrade. That's going to help a lot. Oh, I got to feed some ducklings. I got to feed some quackers. Do you think they want quackers? I'm so terrible, but when I look at the WoW ducks, they're very cute, but all I want to ask is, where is your neck? What has happened to your neck? Why has your head been stuck onto your body like Mr. Potato Head? You ever see a real duckling? They've got these cute little goose necks. Owl ducks. Yeah, so you get like this reusable helm enchant from a quest that you get in the raid from doing the raid a lot. And it's like basically everybody's, I mean, there isn't another helm enchant, but it's like a pretty decent power upgrade for everybody. There's a permanently shrinking. When they're cold, they look like that. I haven't seen a cold duckling. That's a good point. They made them look like rubber duckies. Every time I hear the Bert and Ernie Rubber Ducky song, which is more than you might think for an adult, I wonder, do I need a real rubber ducky? I take baths sometimes. I might enjoy a rubber ducky. Ernie seems to really like his. Ernie seems thrilled about the whole business. Make the queasy hornswog throw up. Excuse me? Make sure... Oh, I see. He swallowed a duck. How do I make him throw up? Violence? We're gonna try violence. Moose would enjoy a rubber duck for all of 10 minutes before he bites it in two. Yeah, true. He hasn't managed to substantially damage any of his squeaky toys. Only the plush ones. Keep telling her it needs a friend. Sister has too few ducks. Primalist front. I swear this was like the fire season is like a Emerald Dream quest. I mean, I guess maybe they'll let me do it. If they let me do it early, that works. I wonder if I'm gonna do the, if I'm gonna, like, make a point to do... What is here? Oh, it's a world quest. Yeah, okay, sure, why not? Cull Lashers rescue novice emerald gardeners. If I'm gonna replay the Emerald Dream campaign on my hunter, just to get, like, a bunch of flight stones that she can use for upgrading her gear and, like, some basic stuff, it might not hurt. Or I could... not do that. Adamant to not do it in your DK. Yeah, I just didn't feel like it. Replaying campaign has never been super high on my list of things to do. Even when they make it really rewarding with like flight stones and stuff, it's... I don't know, I did it once. I wasn't terribly happy about doing it the first time. I think it's because in my brain... questing means leveling. I love questing when I'm leveling. If I don't need to level anymore and all it's doing is giving me like 12 gold and then the glory of having done it, it feels really lackluster to me. Like, because I'm not too fussed about the story and I know they're going to give me something for having done it, but like if I did it already, so I got like the game unlock that I needed to do, then it's just for like, well, I guess, do you want like, I don't know, some flight stones? It's like, well, I do want flight stones, but like, you know, in other times in the game when I quest, I'm getting like glorious levels and stuff. I don't know if I want to do it just for like some greens. Giving you power, which is how leveling is, but at endgame there's other ways to get that power, you know, like there's other stuff you can do that might be more, for some reason, world quests completely different. I know it's like functionally the same thing as a quest, but like getting gear and flight stones from world quests in an endgame character feels way better than getting it by replaying the campaign, which is silly because it's almost exactly the same thing. It's just like, you know, it's broken up. It's not in like one cohesive line. And I don't have that beef against it, I guess. Burnt out and redoing campaigns after doing all 4 of the Shadowlands Covenant campaigns 4 times each for transmog reasons. Avoid redoing campaign at all costs. I'm glad it's not just me. Oh, I got a ducky. Oh yeah, you get pilot for doing that. And then belt for doing that. I may as well do the dragon race. I'm right here. Get myself 500 gold I get to keep. Because yeah, I don't want to go to the Azure Span. I want to stay in this zone. I'm getting extra experience in this zone. I got Whelping Streaming Crest for that. It's funny that you can get some of those even before you're fully leveled. I have no flight stones, but I have 20 Whelps Crests, and I'm only level 66. Aww. Okay. I think these are my favorite world quests. I think it's because they give so much gold. I think that if you didn't have that satchel that gave you like 500 gold for doing one of them, I wouldn't have bothered with them again. Because it's nice. I like the dragon racing, but I think it's just this idea that you can do something that's pretty straightforward, and then you get like a big ol'... Wait, where's my big old bag? Oh, don't tell me I got Dream Search Coalescence instead. No! How could this happen to me? Oh dear. Oops. Oh hey, there's a quest up here. Is that a Dream Search quest? No, it's like a side quest set. Okay. And then I still have the Peacekeeper quest. I've got a couple dungeon quests too. Those are level 70s though. Those are Druid of the Flame things. I don't know about all that. Whirlwind Abyss, thank you for the 13-month resub. Mountain the Emerald Dream that's time gated. One of the time gates is to wait for mulch to turn into fertilizer. You have to keep it in your bag for 3 days. Gross if you think about it. I mean, it's just composting. Right? Oh. We'll go back and do Theramis at some other time. My bags have seen worse. Yeah. Fresh compost is delightful and smells all earthy. Composting in my bag. Yeah, I've had enough disembodied heads in my bags. I can't get squicked out by a little bit of compost. At least they don't leak it full of crumbs. Yeah. So how's your weather been in wherever it is that you are? We had our first proper frosty morning today. I was talking to a neighbor when I was walking Mr. Moose. I hope that we get a snow this year in town for him to see his first snow. Characters have character run some crazy things. I just want to know the stain remover secret of my character. Oh dear. Scout pack. -2, slight snow. Do you want to tell me more bad weather incoming? I was thinking about... Oh, never mind. Where am I going so slowly? I'm a bird. Collected the corrupted blood of old gods, shoved it in our bag. Do you think it smells? There is magic. There's brooms that sweep up all by themselves. Alrighty. And we're talking over here. Yeah. I don't mind snow as long as I don't have to go anywhere. And I'm lucky that in my life, as long as I've stocked up on groceries and stuff, I don't have to go anywhere. Even if I haven't stocked up on groceries, I have stores that are close enough that I can kind of like trek there through fairly deep snow, which is what I did last year. We had like an Arctic inflow event, and it was like really unseasonably cold and windy and blowing snow and all that. So of course I'm not driving anywhere, but I live in town, so I just kind of put on all of my clothes and grabbed my little tote bag, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go get some milk, because you know, store's still open. Streaming the variety show tomorrow. No, I don't have any plans for that. They're doing a classic one this time, right? That's fun. Amazing when it's holidays, you're already planning to stay home for a week, but nightmare when you have to get up before sunrise and work the next morning. Yeah, I am very blessed in a lot of ways, but I feel a little extra blessed whenever I see people like defrosting their cars and scraping their windshields, and I'm just Moose got jump scared by windshields wipers going over like some ice and making a big crunching sound when he was walking right beside the car, and I had to bribe him with a cookie to get him to leave it alone and not further investigate. I want to attack that sound too. Yeah. Next door neighbor Swedish shovels snow outside our door. Aw. Snow in the city? Not the vibe. I can also, with enough determination, walk to visit any of my family members that live in town. It's not a very big town. I mean, it's a city, but it's not, like, enormous when everybody kind of lives downtown-ish. So, I can still, like, go check in with, like, my sister or my mom or something like that without needing to drive anything, which is nice. Also, I'm pretty sure the buses go regardless. Like, I think the buses in the city have seen it all. I think the weather would need to be really crazy before the transit stopped. Those buses are ready. I don't know how they do it, but I've never seen a City of Victoria transit driver show fear. Opposite coast of my family. I lived across a border from my family for 7-8 years, and that was enough for me to decide I never want to do it again. I feel for you. It's hard when you're really far from them. Due to the apocalypse, buses are delayed by 15 minutes. I've lost track of what I'm doing. It's a bonus objective, apparently. Ah, we're getting through the quest. We're doing stuff. We're 66 in a bit. It's certainly not as fast leveling as it was when we had the anniversary experience buff, but that's okay. We're making progress. Some bracers. Do I want to wear those? I don't, actually. Excuse me. I want to. Thank you. There's a rare up there. Are these gnomes? No, it's a Volpera. I'm not the only one. I'm never the only one. Sometimes I have a hard time taking Volpera seriously. When they're all like, rawr, and it's like, yeah, that's nice. Give you a cookie later. Snowy winter in NYC is a fiasco. City shuts down. Infrastructure just can't manage snow and ice. Yeah, it is nice whenever it gets like bad enough that most people stop driving, because then the roads get nice and quiet, and then even when a car does manage to like slide by, it's like cushioned by like a thick layer of snow on the road. It's just like nice and quiet, soft sounding outside. But like I said, I only enjoy it so much because I don't have anywhere to go. Take gnomes and goblins seriously, but not the foxes. Yeah, funnily enough. Goblins, I feel like, are genuinely frightening. It's not the size thing. I think it's the cute, fuzzy thing. I guess gnomes are kind of cute and fuzzy, too. Oh, another Typhoon Bringer. I thought I had one of these already. Yeah. Yeah, see, if a gnome's trying to threaten you, they probably mean it. They wouldn't do that without a plan. I wanna fly and get that thing, but I can't fly because I'm inside of a cage. Badger's cute, fuzzy, everyone's scared of them. Don't bite your knee. My puppy jumped up onto my lap on the couch last night, which sounds like a normal thing for puppies to do. And it is, you know, he's my lap dog. But he's getting bigger and I wasn't expecting him to jump. I just kind of thought he was going to like put his chin on my knee like he does sometimes, but instead he like bodily leaped up. And it really takes the wind out of you. Well, there we go, we did something. Am I prepared to fight this elite? Sure, why not? He's not 100 pounds. I don't know how many pounds he is. I guess he's Pandora's dog. He could be. If you don't weigh him, he could be, but no. He's definitely not growing as fast as he did in the first couple of months. Like 3 months to 5 months was like a completely different, unrecognizable dog. He changed colors, he changed fur thickness, he changed size, he changed shape. He like evolved from 3 to 5 months, but now 5 to 7 months is more just like a gradual stretching of the dog. Any day, though. Got pimples. He has this really amazing look that he gives you whenever you want him to do something that he doesn't want to do, and he's like, Mom, no. Usually has to do with going a certain direction. Like, he wants to go for a walk, and it's not walk time, or like, you want to go for a walk, and he wants to go back home and go back to bed. And you're like, Moosey, we're going this way. And he like just like looks at you, deadpans with these two eyes, just like, are you really gonna make me do this? I'm just a puppy, you monster. He's really mastered the guilt trip. Wispy teen stash. Barbed shot weakcore. What is the barbed shot weakcore? Barbed shot frenzy tracker. Information link. Copy. Paste. Getting close to graduating from puppy to doggo. He's like a very chaotic dog right now. He's still not full size, but he's definitely like, if he stopped growing now and he was this size, people wouldn't say he was a small dog. He would be like, oh, that's your dog. There's a dog. Like somewhere between medium and large dog size. And he's generally pretty chill, but he gets puppy zoomies sometimes. And he's like, it's a weird dichotomy because he's really smart and he's really food motivated. So in some cases he's very, very trainable. And you can, if you guys are on the same page about your goals, you can get him to do almost anything with enthusiasm, which is great. But he's also very willful and very stubborn. He's got a lot of sled dog breeds in them that were bred to be kind of more independent and thinking for themselves. So if you guys are disagreeing about the agenda for whatever's going on, then you're going to have a problem. Not that he's going to be like mean or aggressive about anything. He's just not going to do it. Look at you like, I don't think so. Try again. Which could be a teenager thing, or it could just be kind of who he is. I saw a man walking like a big Pyrenees-looking dog, and they were walking a lot like we end up walking, which is just kind of moseying, you know. Just walking alongside the dog while the dog's out on a walk. Grew up with a border collie who was just determined to herd me around the house. His personalities are bred so strong. Do I have sweaters for Mr. Moo? I don't. He does have a lovely fluffy double coat though. He is a floofy boy now. He's got some good insulation. He has pretty fuzzy feet too. I was wondering if I needed to shave his paw pads, and I was looking into it, and apparently as long as they're not like getting matted, they're all right. And so I'm keeping an eye on his little feetsies. They're pretty fuzzy. Do I remember any of this? Oh, it doesn't matter. Grinch feet. Belgian Malinois Shepherd Chow getting set in his ways. Reminds me to let him outside at the same time every night with a paw on my knee and the look. Yeah. It's a... I've discovered that when raising a puppy like this, you can really drive yourself crazy worrying that you're doing it wrong, because it feels like you kind of have to pick your battles, and everything goes a lot more smoothly if you've got like a good relationship with your dog and a good understanding, and you're like, you know, you guys are both on board. But also it feels like if you let him win the wrong battles, you're never ever ever gonna get that back. Like I'm worried about letting him form bad habits, because, you know, he's not gonna change them later, but also you kind of gotta like live your life. It's you know, I think it's like a very individual thing to specific dogs. We're doing fine. He's a happy boy. Happy Friday, Hazel and Chat. How's everyone doing today? Happy Friday, Zayador. Link to my UI profile. No, it's just default UI. I've just used edit mode to smoosh things around. It's asymmetrical and wonky and specific to me. You don't want it. You don't want it. Parenting, every dog is different. Anyone who tells you there's one specific way is trying to sell you something. Yeah. Or they've just, you know, they might be well-meaning, but they've just, they've only lived in their own bubble, and it hasn't occurred to them that other bubbles might have different considerations. And, yeah, we're just doing our best. Ice storms are awful. Have you gone Christmas shopping for gifts? Yeah, I'm already done, which is very unlike me. I'm usually a last minute kind of person, but I did a bunch of online shopping. I did a little bit of in-store shopping. I am functionally done. I need to pick up one more thing. Or just give up and order another thing for one more person. But yeah, pretty much set up. I got gifts for Kira. I got gifts for Moose. I guess I need some stocking stuffers too. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do for that. Santa's coming, you know. My mom's gift came in like a brown paper shopping bag, and I was thinking of just taking the crayons and drawing a bunch of Christmas patterns onto it and then just giving it to her in that. Being like, look, it's Christmas wrapping. I drew a Christmas tree. Mom, I'm 31. Are you proud of me? Caves searched. Oh yeah, I guess we can do that. So I did honor roll, which means that I've done all of the main story for the Onaran Plains. We do still have some side quests left, so I'm just going to wring every last little bit out of the zone that I can. Moose is more or less respecting the tree. He's kind of disrespecting the tree skirt on occasion, but only when he's like really full of beans and he's run out of things to do with them. He's been really pretty good about the whole business. Yeah, it is default, but the export is too long to paste into Twitch chat, and I'm too lazy to find another way to host it. I just insist that people don't want it. Because, like, why would you? What's, you know, have you seen it? Has Kira been jealous of Moose getting attention? Kira just needs her mom time. She just needs to have some time with me too. They don't spend a ton of time together. They're only allowed together under direct supervision because their relationship is still being managed. So I have to make sure I spend time with Miss Kira and with Mr. Moose. Do you think of getting a real tree? No. I really like fake trees. Unironically, I've always had them. I am a big fan. It works for me. Feels like Christmas. I bought it last year. I'm happy. I think a real tree would cause me more difficulties and upset, and it would offer me nothing. Theramis found. Oh yeah, Theramis wasn't feeling very good. We were gonna give him like some support or something. Yeah. I know that, like, I eat vegetables and stuff, so I don't get to be on a high horse about this, but I think a real tree would give me bizarre feelings that a tree had to die for me to have Christmas. You know, like it got cut down in its beautiful youth, and then it's gonna get, like, chipped later. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I know that we do things like mow lawns and eat carrots, like, it's not... It's, you know, I like wood furniture. I'm not I'm not above any of this. But maybe just, like, seeing it... just like that. I don't really like cut flowers all that much either. I'd rather have potted flowers. I want them to have a chance to live for a while. And I know that they, like, lived before that, but yeah. I don't know. I think everybody should have the Christmas that brings them the joy that they're looking for. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing a big real treat. I just don't want it for me. That's all. Look at me using lust. I do remember I have it sometimes. Saw a TikTok about a real tree having a baby mantis inside newly born. Holy. I ever tell you guys about the time that I put some plants in one of my aquariums? And then I had, like, a mysterious denizen that I would just, like, barely see moving, but then I, like, couldn't find. And then I eventually discovered I had a dragonfly nymph that was, like, 1.5 inches long that had really good camouflage that was living inside of that tank. Horrifying. I did not have any fish in it yet. I was doing, like a long fishless cycle. I had, like, this whole Wallstad tank planned out. And some of the plants that I put in must have had dragonfly larvae or dragonfly eggs, because I had a full... And also, I don't know what happened to it, by the way. Oh, no. That one, no. That one, I do know what happened to that one. That one, I fished it out, and then I put it outside, and then maybe a bird got it, or maybe it, like, hatched up into a dragonfly. I don't know. But I wasn't going to leave it in the tank, because dragonfly nymphs can eat fish. They can hunt and eat fish. They are predators. And I was going to put some little fishies in there. Didn't want to introduce them to Jurassic Park. Must have mentioned that before I remember that. I mean, I was streaming at the time. It was some amount of years ago. And I had the tank, like, on camera and stuff too for a while. I don't know if I had it on camera when the nymph thing was going on. Yeah, snail eggs are a real problem, especially if they're live bearing snails, because those, good luck getting rid of them. I used to think that I wanted to do a double tank setup where one setup is an invert tank that has, like, some shrimp, but then also, like, a live bearing snail population, and then the other tank was going to be dwarf pufferfish, because those, as a food source, really like consuming live small snails, and they will breed pretty much infinitely given basic conditions. Like, they're really easy to breed at home. And by breed, I just mean exist, and they'll take care of it for you. But I never did a puffer tank. Pea puffers are interesting. They're, like, this big. They've got, like, independently swiveling eyeballs. They're very inquisitive. They can live a long time, but they can also be quite delicate. They were kind of like an aquarium trend for a while. But I don't have so many tanks anymore. My aquarium phase has settled down to a reasonable level. Yeah, exactly, like bunnies. Just you're just gonna find more. The bunnies or rats or mice or etc. Not all snails are like that. Nerite snails, like, some snails are egg layers. They're not live bearers. So mystery snails will lay clumps of eggs. That also happened to me. That was exciting and horrifying because I wasn't expecting it. Nerite snails are actually great freshwater aquarium snails to have because they lay eggs, and their eggs will only hatch in brackish water. So even if you have, like, a female nerite snail that's, like, peppering your tank with these little sesame seed looking eggs, they're never going to hatch in completely fresh water. So you are only going to have the snail that you purchased, and you are not going to have infinite additional snails, which is good because snails have kind of a high bioload. They poop a lot, basically. So you want to be cautious of having too many of them in any aquarium because they can pretty easily outcompete or just, make the water stinky for your fishies. Hello, will you play SOD? Thanks. Hello. I have played some SOD and I have returned to retail. I did a couple days of it. Have you considered a terrarium? Not really. I got super into aquariums and I enjoyed that, and I figured, you know what, if I don't mess with reptiles, that would probably be for the best. I have enough hobbies. Sometimes I write off some hobbies at face value, not because there's anything wrong with them, but just because I know I only live one life and I have X amount of space and money and like brain cells, and I need to conserve them for the things that are going to overwhelm me. Well, here we go. You need like a snack or something? Oh man, do I have 3 Nakut on offensive? I have 3 dungeon quests for Nakut. I should probably do it. It's probably a decent amount of experience. It would be better if I could random queue into it, but I can't control that. I have not seen the show River Monsters. I think you'd like an anaconda. I contemplated doing the ball python thing, and then I decided against it. Again, this is a useful survival trait that I've evolved to be able to not get into new things, because I get into new things with such wild abandon that I need to, at the very least, narrow my scope. So if I ever say I'm not going to do something, I mean it, and it's okay. I have enough ideas. They're already ruining my life. Imagine if we had AI teams yet. Oh, for the dungeon? Yeah, that would be kind of interesting, wouldn't it? You could just kind of like head in there and do it independent. You could do it with an instant queue even. Concerned about Kira too, yeah. I feel like you could, you know, like you can keep animals separate. Like I'm sure my cat would eat my fish if I could, but like, you know. Not all the pets have to have access to the rest of the pets. It's a fantastic show. They play up drama. Very educational. The host is great. I need to water a bunch of plants soon today. I've got some dry plants in my home. I always get lazy about it in the winter because technically they're like dormant, or ideally they've entered some form of dormancy, so they don't need as much water, but they still need some water, and I always forget that. Like, listen, what if I just ignored you until like March? I don't use an app to track my watering. I've never successfully used an app to track anything. I just like set it up and then I track one thing and then I like don't ever look at it again. And then if you say, well, Hazel, you could get notifications, and then I would say, it's assuming that I see my notifications. I don't know what goes on with my device notifications, but I don't really get them anymore. Or I'll get them like crazy late. Like I'll get a reminder like 2 months later than when I set it to go off. And it probably went off at the time and I just for whatever reason missed it. And then some days I'll just like leave the phone in the nightstand for like a couple of days just to see if that makes me feel any better. No device can tell you what to do. Get them and ignore them. Yeah, I used to... Nowadays, I find a better way for me to remember to do something is to write it on my physical wall calendar. Like if I write down... And it's not that I'll necessarily remember it, but like I'll have a better chance because I check in with that now and then because I have a habit of looking at it when I'm brushing my teeth because it's like pretty close to the bathroom. So if I write something on there, I might not do it, but I'll at least look at it one time before it happens. I'm level 67. We're actually making some progress here. Trucking along. It's kind of fun cleaning a zone of quests and stuff. It's kind of fun doing as much as you can within a specific zone. It's a bit of a challenge after a while. You gotta kind of dig. I've run out of buff, but you know what? We're just gonna slam another hat. There we go. Third Blossom Loom got utterly destroyed. Yeah, I feel that. I've been there. Can't survive. Yeah, no, it's awful. As a priest, sometimes I can't survive that damage. I was getting toasted by that, and I was quite upset about it, because it always feels like it's only me. It's not only me, but like within a given group size, I'm often the person that has the least natural defensiveness. So I'm often, if there's like really big attrition damage or something like that, unless I'm extremely careful, I'm often the first person to die. And when that happens enough times, eventually you kind of internalize, oh man, I'm always the problem. And it's not necessarily the case. You got to kind of challenge that thought, but like it can make me very whiny sometimes. Now I've done it again. So on one hand, I'm doing the Theramis quest. On the other hand, the Waking Dream thing is happening like on top of me, but like as a level 66, I'm not, or 67, mind you, I'm not super helpful with that. Are we going to the back of the zone? Back of the cave? No. Something else. What's the hat for? It's the same Darkmean Fair buff that you get from the, it's the same Darkmean Fair buff that you get. I don't want it. I don't want it. From riding the roller coaster or the carousel, but you can do it without going back. The hats cost 10 tickets each, and they're consumed on use. 10 prize tickets. Not ride tickets, unfortunately. That would be cool. Yeah, I guess if I don't like the feeling of just like falling over to random mechanics on my priest, I'm not going to like playing a hunter very much. This is going to be like not better. There we go. All kinds of gold. Need to remember that. Exhausted every collectible I can buy with tickets. They're piling up. Yeah, if you're using the rep buff or the XP buff, it's super nice to have some hats on you because going all the way back is a real pain. Okay. So there's 3 more optional storylines that we can do. So we're not completely out of quest to do in this zone yet. There's also, I can try and do Fire Season. I'm going to log out for a second just to maintain my buff here, and I will be right back. I'm going to take a short break. BRB. And to go see my moo. I wasn't going to do anything else, right? I was just leveling. Or just leveling. That's actually kind of a cool belt. The buff from the hat doesn't get paused when you log out. Eh? What? What do you mean? 53 minutes. Maybe it didn't, because that's weird. Right? Like, the only thing that still ticks when you're logged out is, like, that raid thing. Or, like, your, you know, debuffs, maybe. Deserter. Well, that's awful, and I disagree. This is a Waking Dream mob. Now that I'm 67, I can at least fight the normal ones, but that's not where I need to be right now. Let's forget Fire Season for now. Let's keep doing... Let's forget the Nakut Offensive. We're not doing Into the Azure. I mean, I guess Fire Season is like... I wonder how much of this they're even going to let me do. Like, it's a level 70 questline. So my ult still have the Turbulent Time Waste buff. What should I name my Tauren Warlock? Are you looking for, like, a pun name? Or are you looking for, like a cool name? Not that I have any ideas either way. Always love a punny name for a Tauren. I have no originality whenever I do try to come up with like a silly name for a specific race, as evidenced by the fact that my Tauren on hardcore was called Hazelmoo. That was what I had. I think, was it Hazelmoo? It wasn't Muzel. It was, I think it was Hazelmoo. Was it Muzel? I have to log back in and find out. They're still alive. They didn't die. Alright. Can I kill all this stuff in a way that approaches safety? Oh! Oh! Kira died! Kira, I'm so sorry! I didn't think that your pet avatar would die this much! Mulakas. Because yeah, this is scaled down to me. This is level 66. Maybe there's like some spells that haven't scaled. My Tauren Shami is called Mubaret. Moonificent. I like Moonificent. I think that's pretty good. Can Taurens be warlocks? Is that a thing? Did they change that? I know they were gonna let Lightforged Draenei do it, and maybe they did Tauren at the same time. Yes. Have Tauren always been able to be warlocks? Everyone can be a warlock. That's so funny. Just this patch. Okay. I just had a moment of like, wait a second, can you even do that? I guess so. I suppose so. Eridar Paladins. Yeah. I remember that. Monks, locks. Except for, when we say all races, we mean all races except for Drakthir. Drakthir don't count. No, not again! I need to keep an eye on her health. I keep trying to heal her with Exhilaration, like at the very last second, and I'm not doing any amount of Menpet. Oops. Because I was thinking like hunters, like everybody, like hunter and warrior and priest as well, right? Like everything except for Drakthir. And rogues. DKs. And mages. Yeah, most things, I guess. There's not that. I guess the only classes that aren't completely available to everything at this point is the ones that are a little bit more like specific sort of like models and animations needed. So like paladins with their mounts, shamans with their totems, druids with their forms. 5 choices for druids. Used to be just 2. Once upon a time you were a night elf or you were a tauren, and that was the end of it. So they don't let you cheat in this, do they? Speak with Chantress. They gave us these super cool dragon riding mounts, and then they're like, no, you still have to walk through this fire thing anyway. I'm ready. So you grab the one at the beginning. Boon of the Firelands. What does that do? Weird. I wonder if that's like an easy mode? Or if it's just like a different difficulty? Oh yeah, you can't forget to get the flowers. You can't get too excited by running through the thing and then just forget to get your flowers. 2 flowers. 3 flowers. Hang on. I've never tried that before. That's cool. Not that I've tried it this time, but... 4 flowers. Oh, I'm not supposed to stand there. I was like, I thought that was the hiding spot. At least there's a checkpoint. Holy moly. Just got toasted by Fyrakk. Over here, that's right. Forget the flowers in every single tune every time. Forget the flowers. Yeah. I've seen a lot of people have to go back for the very first one. The only reason I didn't do it the first time was because Flabby had warned me about it ahead of time. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Hi, Laird. You wanna fight? Aw, man. Well, that's it. Just 4 tentacles and you're tired already? He's sandbagging. He's saving all his best moves for raid. I wonder if I'm gonna get a heroic version of my smoldering seedling trinket, or if the other healers are gonna want them now that they've seen me use it. I think it's like extra good for Holy Priest because we have so many chunky single target heals we can just dump on demand. Plus Guardian Spirit makes it super, super good. I'm gonna queue for specifically Knock It on Hold or Naku Defensive because I specifically have so many quests for there. I don't know if it's gonna take like half an hour for that queue to pop, but that's okay. Should we head back and see? So that report is taking me all the way back to Vildarak, and I'll worry about that later. Should we head back and try and do more Field of Ferocity quests maybe? I don't know. I have a Smoldering Seedling trinket on my Holy Priest. It's the healer trinket that drops from Laradar, and it cranks if you use it. World quest till the queue pops. Yeah, I have a few more quests to do here. There should be more side quest lines available. I didn't finish the Onaran Plains side quest lines thing, so maybe some of them are behind Field of Ferocity. Perhaps. Maybe there's more quests after that. Oh, there's a rare over there. Maybe I should do that. Could drop something cool. What is that? Skara. Do you think she knows scary? Sure. Whoa. That's the fastest DPS queue I ever did see. I have 29 seconds to accept that invite. I have 18 seconds to accept that invite. Oh, Tank still hasn't taken it. Okay, good. It's a fresh start. I never really realized that the starting point for this dungeon is literally Marukai. Like, I know this zone is the same as, like, this whole dungeon takes place in the Onaran Plains, but for whatever reason, starting the dungeon looking at it from this direction has transformed it into a completely separate and different place to me. All right, are they there? They're going. Oh, I actually got my interrupt. I didn't think that would happen. So I need to get myself, or make myself, another Beast Cleave weak aura, and basically all I want it to do is show me an icon. Basically just blow up this. I just want to see that it's up, you know? That's all I really want to know. I used to have one, but I broke it or something, so I'll look into it again. Maybe I'll make myself something. I kind of like making scuffed weak auras.
Crowd control.
It's like doing DIY. What can I do for there? There we go. That'll kick it. That's the one you're supposed to kick. You kick the Disruptive Shout, not the Rallied Clans. You can't kick Rallied Clans. You have to CC it. Do I have Intimidate or anything? I want to say no. My spec is a mess. Here, I'll take Wailing Arrow. Oh, I lost my
Crowd control.
I lost my Wailing Arrow. Oh, there's Binding Shot too. Just in case they get pulled out of that. There we go. So Wailing Arrow does like an Interrupt or a Silence or something. Hazel in a dungeon? I know, right? I have all of the dungeon quests for it. I also have 2 windows. I don't need both of them. Oh, we're fighting the boss, too. Well, that is brave.
Ready to interrupt.
Where's the one? It's this one. Here we go. Can we kill that horn sounder? There we go. We made it. We did it. Don't mind my DPS meters. I've got 2 of them. They do the same thing. They're both everywhere. Are you guys messy? Messy, messy, messy. Oh, it's almost time to watch Christmas movies. I like the Rudolph with the elf that wants to be a dentist, and I like the Frosty the Snowman with the bad guy that says messy, messy, messy. Watch the whole movie just for that. Which hero is back there hype for? Happy Friday, Hazel. Happy Friday. I feel festive. I got my lights up in my office. I put the rest of the lights just on the tree, so the tree is like super lit. Finally passed the 1 mil gold mark for the first time thanks to your guide. Start with 200k, sold a BOE for 400k. I mean, there you go. It's a good get. Okay. I want to sort out my windows. This one can go away for now. Window control close. I think I need another details profile for DPS that doesn't have the double window, because I'm only really worried about what the HPS is when I'm actually healing. I'm not too fussed otherwise. I just trust that it's getting done. And then I have my pets. I have my Frosty pets. That's good. I knew that barb shot would come up in time because the bar wasn't red. When that weak aura bar turns red, it means that you're not going to get your stack refresh in time unless you get a proc. As long as it's green, the cooldown's gonna finish before you like need it. I don't have trank shot, do I? No, I don't bother with no. Because like having the healing window open doesn't make you heal any more or less. It's just like a vanity metric, right? Basically the same as the DPS window. I only need vanity metrics for the place where I'm specifically trying to be veined. Sounds like a Guardian Druid thing. Maybe I should invest in a DVD of The Grinch. I've heard that Disney Plus keeps trying to tell me that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and I've never seen it. And maybe I should watch it as a Christmas movie, but I feel like I'm going to be very confused as to why it's a Christmas movie. I think people just watch it at Christmas time. I think it's just one of those things. Definitely a Christmas movie. What? It is a Christmas movie. It takes place around Christmas. I see. Yeah, I guess that's all it really takes. Absolutely. Ho ho. Now I have a machine gun. Is that a line from the film? Okay, you're right. I do need to see it. Hottest debate every year. I've been slowly catching up on my repertoire of like older movies that are popular among my age group that I just missed seeing somehow. I watched Alien and Predator this year. What else did I see?
Dispel boss. Spread.
I feel like I should watch the Schwarzenegger movies. I don't know for what or like why, but just to have seen them, you know. What if I just don't understand Arnold?
Dispel boss.
Stealing all these things. We did it. I have not seen Alien versus Predator now. Thoughts on Alien and Predator? I liked Alien a little bit better, but Predator was more memeable. They were both really fun. They were both really fun. I like it more when it's kind of a little bit of like a spooky thing and a little bit less of like an action thing. I've never really been into action movies. I have a tendency to stop paying attention. It's kind of rude of me. Still want to pet Alien. But it's nice to watch something that's been memed so many times, or that's like become such a fixture in popular culture that you watch it and you're like, oh, that's why people say that. Because I'm sure there's things that like I quote and jokes that I make personally that are from things that I've never, ever, ever seen. And that, you know, you finally get around to watching the movie and you're like, oh. So people aren't just being weird. I mean, maybe they're just being weird, but. Hazel, you missed so many good movies. I'm sure you would be horrified. I don't think I've seen Val Kilmer in anything. The only reason I know who Val Kilmer is because there's a Friends episode where they discuss that Val Kilmer played the role of Batman once, and that, you know, he had a suit that they were like going to rent for a wedding. That's the only time that name's ever come up to me. We cannot blame my lack of movie education on Canada. Canadians watch movies. I didn't watch movies. Or at least I didn't watch like the right movies. I watched the wrong movies a lot of times. I've seen Bend It Like Beckham like 10 times. And it's great every single time. Top Gun or The Doors. I feel like you missed the part where I don't like action movies. Dark Knight movies. No. I've heard people like them, is what I've heard. It's one of the right movies to watch multiple times. Haven't seen the old Christmas movies like Rudolph and Frosty since I was in elementary school. I like bought them on iTunes or something. Like at least the Rudolph one anyway. I've lost everybody. I bought them because I knew I wanted them. Or I bought the Rudolph one. What are we doing? Why are we dying? I have seen The Princess Bride, yeah. That's a really good one. Watched my first Frozen Christmas movie yesterday, Frozen 2, 33. I love the Frozen movies. I like them both. I think it helps that I was never made to watch them. I think that a lot of the exhaustion with Frozen movies comes from parents that have heard the songs a bajillion times. If you just, you know, have seen them like once or twice because you wanted to, they're great. How do you feel about the Muppets? I was talking about it yesterday. I apparently watched the Muppets a lot as a child. I don't remember much of it. My brother-in-law is super into the Muppets, actually. But I had a PC game called The Muppets Inside. And the premise is like the Muppets are trapped inside your computer riding the data bus around. And you have to like play a bunch of mini games basically to help collect all of the different Muppets from different places in your PC. And then rescue them, basically. And I adored that game. I played a ton of
Your
it.
step.
There was a fatal error that you could experience in the Swedish Chef game, which was a shame because that was like the most fun game in there. So I a lot of my Muppet references are specifically from that game. Did you catch Gonzo last night? No.
Run. Fear of coming.
Is that from the Game Awards? I know the Game Awards were on last night because a couple people in my raid night were watching it, and then the raid leader had to be like, you guys got to turn off that stream. We are progressing. My dad is still traumatized from having 2 young daughters during Frozen Fever. One of whom owned the soundtrack, the other one owned a CD player. Gonna have to find it. I wonder if I've never tried to dig that one up the way that I tried to dig up Stay Tuned. I feel like it wouldn't work. I've never had any success getting like super old games to work. I'm just not that good with software and like Windows versions emulators and stuff. But man, it was great. The Swedish Chef minigame was like a first person melee game, but you had like, you would pick up like a whisk, and then you could like, and there were egg monsters. They'd be like, oh, I'm an egg, and you would like whisk it, and then it would be like scrambled eggs. And you would pick up like beaters and stuff and progress through. I don't know what game it was mimicking. It's something, I'm sure. I adored it though. It was so fun, but there was a fatal error in there somewhere. You went down like a hallway or like that, it would just crash the entire game, and like, you know, you would lose all your save progress. Yeah, it was a Doom clone basically, but more fun. Internet Archive, stuff like that you can play in your browser. I have not. But I really am a huge sucker for nostalgia. Who isn't, you know? People that are like letting go of the past or something. Sometimes I'm able to find downloads for the Abandonware. I just haven't been able to get it to run. Describes the Swedish Chef game as so wonderful. It was so fun! But I know if I like went and played Doom, I wouldn't have that same kind of joy. It has to be eggs. I feel like it was also challenging. Like, you could die. And then the whole time the Swedish Chef is just going, you know, like he does. Point and click adventure person. Not as an adult. I think I had some when I was younger. I tried a few Steam ones back in like the 2012-13 era. And I never really got the same kind of joy out of them. But I think my beloved Stay Tuned had some point and click components to it. What if I just play DPS just chaotically? What if I just stand in everything and hit whatever and do my best? I mean, I would love to play DPS long enough to be like super, super useful like Flabby. Maybe not like Flabby, that's kind of an unreasonable bar, but you know. Like someone who's like managing mechanics and making the group easier for everybody else while also cranking damage. That would be pretty cool.
Run out.
I don't know if it was a hidden object game. It might have been. I liked A Castle Full of Cats. That's a really good one. I played that this year. Place Tira's bow. Place their weapons in the Tirakai Kurdan. See if I can go back. I might have forgotten to it. Last Monkey Island was actually great. I had a soft spot for the Game Boy games. I had Game Boys when I was a kid, and I put an egregious amount of time into them. I wonder if I missed my window. Probably. I'm gonna just check Wowhead on this and see if it has any advice for me, if it's just gonna tell me that I did it wrong. Wowhead. Founders, Keepers. Might be something you can do outside the dungeon, because I feel like this isn't the first time I've forgotten this. Kill in the dungeon, then back in the open world, place the bow and spear in the graves. Okie dokie. Hopefully I have the items, but let's go check it out back in the open world. So, over Fyrakk. There. Nostalgia games are definitely the old CRPGs like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. Add-on for audio cues? DBM. That is DBM doing it. There should be an option that you can maybe find /DBM. If you open up your DBM options, there should be like some, you can core options, alerts, announcements, spoken alerts. There you go. I'm sure you can, there's probably something in here somewhere that that does that. You can also change voice packs if you have a voice pack from somebody who's goofy enough to put one out online. There should be, oh yeah, over here. Time to press all the buttons. You can also change alert sounds to other sounds if you want to. So if you find that one sound like really annoys you or it's not very clear, you can change it to other stuff. Okay. This one. I'm glad we didn't die in the dungeon. I kept my Dark Moon Fair hat buff. Nostalgia games, ones that are older than people remember, or weird obscure ones that nobody else played. I get having obscure references. I have a friend in my guild that makes like a lot of pop culture references, and I usually don't get them because I'm uncultured. But then my jokes I've discovered through this person actually asking what they're from. My jokes are all references to things that nobody would ever know about. Like, I overheard a dude say something funny in like a corner store one time. Or a friend of a friend of a friend watched a 21 view YouTube video and they started quoting it and their friend started quoting it and then I started quoting it. Or like my brother-in-law said something to my dog, you know, like all of my jokes are from things that nobody would know except for me or like my partner if they were there. Or like, you know, you tell the story and then it catches on, but it's not. It's occurred to me that this might be an incredibly annoying trait of mine. To make inside jokes that are inside with no one. Favorite type of cheese? Oh, Havarti. It's up there. Think we can solo one of these? I don't have a lust debuff. I also don't have a tenacity pet. I was gonna go try and tame a Bruffalon. I had a big plan. You guys ever have parents that got you like they knew you liked computer games that would get you like educational ones? I had a game that tried very hard to teach me the difference between fruits, seeds, stems. It would just show you a bunch of food and you had to choose what the categorization was of it. And I still haven't figured out how that helps me in my life. I guess maybe if I'd gone into science. I think sometimes people might have expected childhood me to go into science or something and would have been very disappointed to see how I turned out. You know, something academic. Ooh. Okay. Let's use a mend pet before the pet's completely dead. And then I'm gonna do this, this, and then this, and then this. Yeah, now we're cooking. It's not that I'm idle. I'm just like letting my focus catch up. I'm saving my global so that I can still cast Kill Command. Save my global so I can get off this last... There we go, Barb Shot. And then we're gonna get the Wrath. There we go. Never let your stacks drop. Maybe Min Pit. Haha, that was not so bad. Oh, for a second I'm like 124k! No, 12k. You're not level 70 yet, calm down. Any job you would have tried instead of streaming? I mean, depending on what age you asked, I had all kinds of answers. As a child, we thought I was going to be a lawyer for a bit because I like to argue. There's a likable trait. I had a period where I was going to be, I don't know, something fancy, something that requires a degree. Am I gonna do this quest? I don't know if I am. They're gonna summon it and I'm scared, so I'm leaving. I wanna go turn this in instead. Stubborn and argumentative? Can't see it. I mean, I'm sure that baby me would have been like, listen, I wouldn't have to argue if you guys weren't wrong. Here's an upgrade. I know that there has to be some truth to that because it really stings when you call me argumentative. You're not wrong, but it hurts. Hammering and DOS commands. Mm-hmm. Whoa. Rep. I guess we got a lot of rep doing all this. Supplies! And some herb knowledge that I can't use yet. Can I buy anything that I need? Oh yeah. I've got the supplies anyway. What if I got like some primal wool and some ceravite ore and maybe a couple of iridescent plumes? I don't know. I feel like I want to collect all this stuff. I just can't be bothered to shop for all of this. All right, 20 ceravite ore and then 6. I mean, am I even going to wear any of this? No, I'm not going to wear those, but I'm going to get them anyway. What about the shoulders? The shoulders are cool. Let's get 20, 40, 60, 80 resilient leather, 9 primal wool, and 2 plumes. 80 leather, 9 wool, 2 plumes. I can remember that. Does the thing matter? Hopefully not. 80. 9 wool. Oh, my fingers are so cold. Primal wool. Plume. 2 plumes. Buy at least a couple of things here. Hello, Hazel. Happy Friday. How's it hanging today? Hello. It's hanging. No. Doing all right. Okay. Yeah, she's got 15k gold. She's doing fine. I need to unpretzel myself. I know when I sit like this, it messes up my back. But I'm chilly. I'm cold. I was going to buy the shoulders. That's right. I wanted these. These. These? Sure. Transmogs. That's something. So how did I do in my achievement? My honor roll. I need another week to tick over so I can get a new zone that has a new zone with a whatchamacallit, a dream surge in it so I can do different quests. Because, so those are the main storylines. Tyvan's purpose. So the Tyvan quests were the only ones that I didn't finish from here. So we can do those. Warming shrimp position. Yeah, that's right. That's right. solve this problem with electricity. All right. Feet straightforward. Part of it is that I get really used to having the cat on the right side of my chair, so I get used to like kind of playing at a swivel so that I don't, you know, bonker into the front of the desk. But it's pretty unusual for me to face my monitor straight on, and I think that's part of my trouble. Let's do Taivan stuff, and then maybe, yeah, because there's like a few quests here. Brush the dog. Maybe try and finish the Field of Ferocity stuff if I can. Because as long as I have Lust up, like if we do one every 10 minutes, it'll be fine. These are really cute quests. 67 and like 2 bars. I mean, I could just like gather. Okay, we'll pick like a couple of nodes, and then you could do the math, and it could be like, well, how many herbs do I have to pick in order to get an entire level? And then just see if that sounds reasonable or not. Why not? What's the trouble? Taivan story made me cry the first time I did it. Wish I could have a doggy as big as Taivan. I mean, there's great Pyrenees out there. There's even Pyrenees mixed puppies and Bernard mixed puppies in shelters. I saw them. I seen them. Pick your notes, but not your friends' notes. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, and I wanted to try to get a Bruffle on. Should I do that now? I should do it before I go back to do more Field of Ferocity. It might be nice to have a... Well, no, I want my Lust pet. That's right. Yeah, yesterday, for at least the beginning of the stream, I had the anniversary buff. It ended at 10 a.m. yesterday, so we had like an hour of it. Hunt dangerous beasts. This reminds me of the quest in Oldham. You would go questing with that one guy that he was, you know, he was a commander, not a hunter, so he had terrible aim, but he was good at like pointing the lines around. It's kind of what it reminds me of. 1375. How much do you need to level? Currently, an entire level for this level is 344,000 experience. Do we think the Dream Surge buff applies? Yeah, it just says experience earned. Why is the pet swimming? I don't quite know what happened with him. It's being a little goofy. 250 nodes is a lot. Although, like, you know, you only need 2 more levels. But that's quite a few. But they're, like, everywhere, you know? And you've got, like, herbing and mining ones you could do. I was wondering, maybe after my Darkmoon Fair hat is no longer necessary, if I want to transmog one of the beanies onto this character. I wonder how that would look with her hair. She doesn't have long hair, but it would still maybe get rid of the foofle on the front of it. Ravenous Proto-Drake slain. Yeah. Oh, it's almost over. Meanwhile, I'm just babysitting my barbed shot stacks. Yeah, I don't quite know. Yeah, I think that's the dragon riding map that's like, it's making him a little silly. I'm always really afraid to use all my dragon riding vigor when I'm on Tindral, T-Swift, in the raid, because I'm horrified of, like, I know you get a free vigor re-up when you hit one of the orbs that's already been collected. And probably when you collect it for the first time, I wouldn't know, I don't get there that fast. But I'm, like, horrified that I'm gonna just misuse all my vigor and be like, sorry guys, I'm dead. I suck at dragon riding. I spent all my points too early and now I can't make it. So, oops. It's not happened to me, but I worry about it every time. He's gonna be a herding dog. Nope. Here, come on. Try this one. You can do it. Oh. Dave Growl, thank you for the 50-month resub. Holy smokes! That's the correct response. Yeah, I also have primal fears about flying into the beams on the transition, because we always seem to have beams on our transition, just the way our damage is, I guess. Chase our golly into the pen. Oh, I have to do it. Herd them yourself. Oh no, not deer herding quests. Oh, they're not as bad as they were once upon a time, but I wouldn't call them... No, wait! No, come back! Maybe I'm just not very talented at them. Excuse me, if you could go that way, that would be great. Did this one yesterday, it took forever. Odwin! Ancient dragon going 800 miles a second. Or one tree branch. Yeah, I don't know if I can blame the quest, though. This might be me. Go that way. There we go. It's one. You only need one. That's good. Don't I have a macro? Must not be on my bar. No, it's those quests. Look at him go. Look at him swim. Oh, the ram's upset. What's funny is I have my own Bakar. You'd think that Moose could teach Tyvan what to do. Remember the herding cats quest in Suramar. The one that comes to mind for me is the herding spiders at the lumber mill in Western Plaguelands. I know there's been other ones, but I wasn't so good at that. Oh, Drunk Flynn Fairwind, yeah. I do like him. I like that he just, like, ran in a big circle. That's Manit. That's not what I'm doing. Herding baby murlocs in Wrath. The owl kittens. Children in Zoldazar. Time is it? It's only 20 after 11. Why am I hungry? Uh-oh. Oh. I need Tyvan to help me. He's a search and rescue dog. Aw. Tyvan, come here. I have like 9 people to save. I can't do it myself. Where are the Bakar mounts? Do we not have any? There's Bakar. Oh, there's a Bakar pet. I've interrupted nothing for the heck of it. Oops. I want to ride Tyvan into battle. I guess the Tyvan toy is super cute too, because he's like just as big when you summon him with the toy. I'm happy to have a Bakar Hunter pet. I think this is pretty cool. I feel like I've fallen behind in mount collection. Like they're adding mounts, especially with the trading post, but even just with the news then, they're adding them faster than I feel like I can reasonably collect them. And every time I fall a little more behind, I let go a little bit more. I just, you know, what if I have enough? Visit family, or do you host? This year, I'm actually not sure because my mom has other plans, and if you saw my place, you would understand why I don't host. So I don't actually know what's happening. Usually, somebody invites me to something. I mean, for like 8 years, I did nothing because I lived in another country, and I would just I Skyped one year. It was really depressing. But then now that I'm home, usually someone invites me to something. I might do breakfast at my sister's. See if I can brain anything. But yeah, I occasionally I will have like a family member over for dinner, and trying to seat 3 people at my dining table is like really tight. It's a table that is for 2 people. And it's the only thing that's going to fit in there. So unless people want to stand and eat, which we sometimes do. My sister's place isn't much bigger, but she at least has a table that you can seat 4 people at. I used to think that when I bought a house that I would have some space to like host, but then it's occurred to me that that's not who I am, and also that that's not what my budget is. I think I'm gonna buy a place that's basically the same size as this place. Yeah, I know, we're fancy. We like to sit and eat. Although I'm not against, at a lot of our family gatherings, we just end up like having plates, and then people just like sit on couches or like living room chairs and stuff. But yeah, I have a puppy and a kitty now, and I know it's not like human children, but I was thinking if I wanted to come up with any, if my partner and I wanted to come up with any of our like our own little Christmas traditions for a little fur family. You know, I got presents for the babies. Lucy's got some new toys, and I got some toys for Kira too. Although mostly what she wants is just a nice nap. Homeward Hound. Type Van Clap. Yeah, this is a good questline. Be over before you know it, and then we'll be into January 2024. Puppy presents are fun. Should go get a dog. Adopting a dog is wonderful. It's also like a really big deal. It's something I recommend, but I also recommend really taking some time to plan and to look at your life and to look at, because it takes, especially if it's a puppy, it's gonna upend your life for a while. Eating on a floor pillow at a coffee table kind of sucks. Keep going back to eating at our desks. I often will sit on the floor under the coffee table, just because it's comfier for me than sitting at a chair at the big table. Or like, I don't like sitting on a couch and then leaning over a coffee table. So I'll just sit on the floor. I've been trying to at least sit like a little bit straighter and not hunched like a gremlin, but I eat a lot of my meals on the floor. Same with the cat. Yeah, kitties are also a responsibility. Just in my own situation, my own life, though, adopting a puppy definitely upended things in a way that the cat didn't, you know, like, there's an awful lot of things that have to happen now, and that you don't know how long they're going to take, and you don't know exactly what you're going to do about it, and there's a lot more, I don't know, concern about integrating them into society. I didn't, it's not that I didn't train the cat, but I didn't put the same kind of, it wasn't the same kind of stress and worry as it is with the puppy dog. He's doing good. I just, you know, I want to do my part to raise a reasonably well-behaved, safe and respectful member of society. Dog society. I like gremlin position. I like it too, but it's hard on my back. I'm getting older. I can't just crunch myself up into a jelly bean anymore and expect to not pay the price. Perhaps I'm paying the price for all of my previous years of jelly beaning. wait to see what Tyvan does. Tyvan's taking a nap. Tyvan is tired. There we go. We understand Tyvan. Alright, now we've really done all the Unarmed Plains quests. But they took me from 60 all the way up to 68. I guess I still have a couple of world quests, and I have the, whatchamacallit, I have these elite quests to do still. Field of Ferocity. Let's take Death Chakram. That's not too bad. Two levels left. 2 levels to go. I just pay it. I'm over 40. Nothing for free anymore. All right, let's see if we can make this work. And then I've lost my Darkwing Fair buff, but that's okay. I want to look for a Brephalon mount or Brephalon pet after this. I want to see if I tame another one, if it's going to ruin my Careful Kira plus moose. I wonder if one of these should be done first. This one's taller. That one's a caster. They're both casters. I may have blown my kick too early. Oh, thanks. There's somebody else here who's presumably level 70. Be cool to tame a prototype like that. See. I did use my lust, so I don't know if I'm going to get the Primalist Champion down, but I'll try. Oh, hey, the Dream Surge Magpies is up. Any of these quests give gold? Probably not. But they'll at least give some experience. Whoa. My pet bar kind of overlaps with my alt bar, and it's kind of unfortunate. I should probably look into moving one of them. Well, the pet bar. No. I've never worn these little caps that have like the little gap at the back, the little Tuskar head caps. There's so many cute hats. I could give her a scarf. Ooh, the scarf's pretty good actually with that shirt. That's not bad. Here, I should help. It's rude to not help. That person's helped me with a few of mine. I was looking for, well, slowly looking for, tabbing through, paging through. Alright, this is I think the last battle for me that I need. Started to warm up to some hunter armor. Still not usually my fave though. It takes a while for me to just get used to not wearing robes. And you can wear robes as a hunter. There's quite a few dresses and robes that you can wear if you choose to. But it feels a bit odd to me to do that, so I end up looking for... I really like this. I'm feeling real comfy like this. Okay, let's do, I can't lust. Should I kill a pet first? I might not be able to do this. Oh, I mistimed that. I don't want it. I don't want it. Ow. Maybe with lust? Given that it's the last one, I'm like too stubborn to just not do it. Oh, you know what? I wanted to get a Bruffalon before that. So let me look up where that tenacity pet that I wanted was. I mean, I guess I could just go find any color that I want, but let's find a specific color. Let's do this properly. I want a stag, because that's going to be a tenacity pet. I will lose leech, but I will gain health and defensives. And assuming that I don't get a dream stag. The dream stags are pretty cool. I think this reddish one is quite nice. Broadhoof bull. Northwest and southeast of Markai. Bruffalon bull. Northwest. Grazing Bruffalon. Yeah, you. So the trick is, so now I have the stag, which I haven't come up with a name for yet. Maybe I'll just see if I can. I've got 5 minutes left of my lusty buff. If I dismiss and then I pull out like Moose. Yeah, okay. I still have Moose and Kira, and I'm sure I can still have Kira and Moose. It's just if I want the bull, then it'll pull out one of them. That's good. That's what I wanted. Since he looks like a moose named Doggo. Pup pup. Sometimes I call Moose pup pup. Usually it's come on pup pup. Let's go. Yeah, no one posts groups for specific field of ferocity things. There's a Void Elf Rogue. So I should have... Okay, so Master's Call is on Shift 6. Where is, my special ability? It's probably in my regular spellbook. For having a... You have so few abilities as BM. These are all passives. I have 2, 4, 5 actual buttons that are specific to BM in my spellbook that are not passives. That's funny. Oh my goodness, he's a... Oh, that's right, I switched it back. That's right. I was thinking, wait a minute. Where's my tenacity thing? It's because I put away the moose. I'm gonna have the different moose. We need this guy. There we go. Now we have Fortitude of the Bear, which is like a rallying cry, basically. Call of the Wild, you can give it a try. I feel like I put it on a bar somewhere. Call of the Wild? No, I have Wild Call. Maybe it must be something you need to spec into or something like that. I have Survival of the Fittest. Oh yeah, it's telling. Yeah, I don't have it. Okay, let's see. My stubbornness about finishing this quest is really tanking my experience leveling rate. I have a feeling these last 2 levels might take a while. I haven't even done all of the, whatchamacallums, pardon me, the world quest in this zone. I've still got more of that to do. Play Hunter every now and then. Can't say I know what my Hunter does. Oh, I'm gonna miss it. Oh, I missed it. Although, it looks like they might have summoned the same fight as me. So if we both need it, then that'll work out. Yeah, I need this one too. There we go. Somebody else will also be on it. They also do dramatically more damage than me. I guess I don't need to use my new button. That'll work. And get 115 gold. Plus another 55. Nice. So that makes a... Oh, there's a world quest up there now that we've done the quest line. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I might need another strategy for getting my last 2 levels. I might get kind of bored doing this. World quest gave me 1.6k gold, kind of nuts. Yeah, with the magpies up. Mine only has Dragon Isle supplies. 17th. I don't even need them. I'm just doing it for experience. The magpies with gold world quest is a pretty valid strat for raw gold making if you have alts. Plus, it would probably make you like really good at world quests. You would figure out all the little tricks, help you do them faster. All right, let's see if we can get this Primalist fight done. I still have my oh, whatchamacallit, I've got my Rallying Cry thingy. That'll be good. I could have sworn that there used to be a Wowhead front page tracker that would tell you, when you had, oh yeah, done, like when the Magpies thing was up. And I went looking for it and I could not find it. Maybe I just imagined that. Maybe they can't track it. It's just like too fast or something. Like somebody has to go check it every time. Yeah, I think I should probably wrap up. Wait, there's more side quests there. How could it be? I did everything. What do you want? What can we do? Oh, they're gonna give me, they gave me Mog for my renown levels. That's right. What renown did I get? I got 20 renown with the Centaur on this alt. Just in the process of questing through the whole zone. That's funny. Yeah, I'll take a couple extra pieces of Transmog. A Looms token. Redeemable for a appearance. Oh, I could trade it for a thing. Well, there's spears. I'm not seeing any bows. I guess he's not a bow maker. He's a spear kind of guy. That one. 500 ornaments shouldn't take long, right? Oh, that one's a Cataloger's Wrath. That's nice and easy. We can do that one before we go. We'll wrap up soon, though. It's Friday, after all. I love all the cataloging quests with the notable and notable exception of the Theldraz's balloon one. I always even with all of the cataloging World Quest upgrades unlocked, I always have to do the balloon one twice to get everything. Oh, there's stuff over here. Oh, Artisans Consortium quest. I see. And then that's going to send me into the Azure Span. But the river ones are fine. We try to finish getting to 70 later today. Maybe, but maybe not. Fridays are typically a good crisis day for me. I have like my only deadline of the whole week where I try to make a news video for Saturday, which usually means I have a breakdown. So that's scheduled for somewhere in the 5 to 11 p.m. range. You know. I'm not very good at the picture taking. Lately, I've been rehearsing the Friday breakdown by also doing it on Wednesdays and Thursdays, being like, you have a free block of time this afternoon, you really should do this thing. And then I don't do it. And then into proceed breakdown. One to 70 in a few days of hard grinding front page news material. What's my slash played at? We are 1 to 68 in 14 hours, 49 minutes. That was with a couple dungeons, mostly questing, and a great deal of it with the anniversary buff, which helped. Anything good to take pictures of? No. Or the big duck. There we go. Nothing like a bit of last minute panic. Oh, yeah. There's no way that I have a world, like a rematch string for that pet battle, is there? Because that would be really convenient. That would be nice. I'm not seeing one. Let me see. I know we had some rematch strings. Pet journal. Where do you import teams these days? Create group, edit group, move group, hide tab. There must be an import button. Import teams, there it is. I didn't think I had one. All right, well, just overwrite the existing one. And then take that team and then add a script. Sure. They updated rematch and I no longer have any idea what I'm doing with it. It's not going well. Makes me feel crusty and elderly. I got this plushie because I thought it was a squirrel, and then it's occurred to me that it is in fact a chipmunk, and not a squirrel at all. But it's still cute and it's got a fuzzy tummy. What do they have us use here? A gnash tooth, a Larian cub? And then, you know, Icky, of course. I don't remember this at all. It has a spell called Nutrition. Also, my auto battle appears to be doing nothing to it. Is that normal? Have I missed a critical component of this fight? I think your script is doing nothing. I think my script is doing nothing also. But I could have sworn it was like it put up Black Claw. Is that script trolling me? Let me see. Oh, it's the wrong script. I have like two strats that are like confused with each other. Okay. Let's try this. I'm thinking that health is not going anywhere. You shouldn't need to click a button to load the script. It should auto be attached to the thing. Yeah, I think it was switching between pets trying to find the pet that would work. That was in the team. Yeah, that's much better. There we go. We made it. Plus, we get a marked follow stone, and I bet you anything I have pets that need an upgrade. What do we see? Quality. Quality. The rarity, pardon me. So I need... I never did upgrade my Sunglow Cobra. Let's do that. I like to send those just so they don't sit in my bags forever. Just use them up. Okay, well, there's only one more world quest left in the zone. I may as well go do it. I suppose there's also probably some wisdom in doing the Fyrakk thing, just because there's nothing else left in the zone, and you do get some experience, like a reasonable chunk of experience for doing some portion of it. Or I could just go do like 500 gathering notes. I probably could have done half of it by now if I just put my mind to it. Maybe that would be more fun. Didn't get almost any XP from the Fyrakk camp thing. There's... I want to say that maybe it's like the lieutenant kill quest that gives you a thing. Or there's some part of it, but the whole thing is super dangerous because it's all level 70. It doesn't scale down to you, so if you get hit by anything, you're barbecue. Thought you got more. Yeah, it's not very good. It's not very good. But I wanna really maximize my things that I could do in the Dream Surge zone to take advantage of that 25% buff. I don't want to go quest without it, you know? She's just a centaur main. She's just a... I thought this quest was harder on lower levels, but I think usually what happens is I get overly excited and then I pull way too many things and then I die and then I go, this quest is too hard, when all I needed to do was fight one mob at a time. Yeah, there we go. Alright, well that puts me to 4 bars through, 37%. Oh, it's rich draconium. That's worth it. We need that. That's funny, you can use the Hearthstone of the Flame while underwater. It's doing its best. I have a lot of the cosmetics from Amir Drasol already. That's nice. Maybe there's more quests to do in the Unhardened Plains after you deliver this report? Could be true, could be true. Maybe they're all at the very top of the tower. I think I'm just procrastinating now. Yeah, alright. Alright, I'll call it at 68 and 38%. I'm happy with that for a good day's stream. We got a new a moose pet that I got to name still. I got my new Transmog. Oh yeah, I wanted to see if it was gonna look cute with one of the hats. The Trial of Style vendor beanies specifically, because she's got like the hyper casual outfit on. So maybe just like a warm hat. I will find it. Yeah, there we go. There's the beanie. There's the bandana. It's kind of cute. I have been known to wear a green hat here and there. You can't see as much of her pink hair though. That's kind of a bummer. Alrighty. We can wrap up for today, but tomorrow is a Saturday morning stream, which means it has to be the day that we get to 70. We get to start getting that delicious gear. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I appreciate your company. I hope your weekend kicks off just right and that you have a wonderful, wonderful day.